Hi everyone, hello. I hope all of you are doing well. Welcome to the next video in the expression infix, prefix, and postfix expressions video. In this video, what we are going to do is we're going to solve a new type, or I would say new type of problems, which are basically evaluation problems. Okay, right now in this problems what happens is you have been given an expression. Now that could be a prefix expression, a postfix expression, and an infix expression, right? And what you essentially have to do is you have to give the final output of these expressions, right? Eventually that you, if you will work on these, what will be the output? Okay, now if you know the theoretical part of what these expressions really are, you would know that pre and postfix expressions are actually the expressions which are preferable by the computers, because it's easy for computation, because they don't have to follow the precedence orderings and everything related to that. Okay, and that is what you will see reflecting in the evaluation phase as well. Okay, comparatively the evaluation of prefix and postfix expressions is considered to be a little easier, as and when you will see the way it happened for infix expressions. All right, so let's get quickly started and see how would that work. Okay, first let's go for the evaluation of a postfix expression. So this is postfix expression evaluation. All right, over here, what will happen is, again, you would be needing a stack to do this. All right, remember in the postfix expression, you have the
So, before moving forward in the video, if you are somebody who wants to learn the concept of AI engineering and actually make a career in the same field, then you are actually at the right place. Algocamp has launched its first AI engineering cohort, in which you will be able to learn state of the art patterns on how to make these real world production grade ready AI applications. You will learn all the concepts from beginner to advanced, starting from basics of LLMs, understanding GPT's API, or let's say Claude's API, how you can actually set up RAGs in production, how you can make your own AI agents, with a lot of interesting projects as well. You will be making projects including making your own code reviewing agent, making your own RAG pipeline which will be able to handle long running tasks as well, and whatnot. I list all of the projects here, and you can pause the video and check out all of them. This particular cohort will also help you understand behind the scenes of an LLM, so that you can understand how the LLM actually works, the neural network architecture, the transformers architecture, what was actually running before LLMs like RNNs and LSTMs. All of these concepts of deep learning also we will be actually covering. This particular cohort has been actually made sure that if you are somebody who knows nothing about AI engineering and wants to start your career in AI engineering, you will be able to actually do that. We will provide all of the required fundamentals, including Python, basics of Python, fast API, Docker, GitHub, and everything which will help you to start your learning as fast as possible. If you are somebody who is actually looking for a more structured way to learn AI engineering with people who are actually building these products in production, do check out the link in the description section below, and don't forget to use this particular coupon code to get massive discount on the price. So let's get back to the video.
1, operand 2, and then you have the operator. Okay, so we will be using a stack which will basically be storing the operands. Okay, it will be same the concept where you will store operand 1 and operand 2 in the stack, and immediately when you come across an operator, right, you will pop out the top 2 operands from the stack, right, operate on the result and push the result back into the stack. Okay, and once you do the entire traversal, in the end the final expression that you will have, or in the end what you will have is in the stack only one element, which will be your output. Let's say I take this up to 5, 3, 6 plus star star 15 by 2 minus. Okay, so now in this particular expression, what will happen is we'll be taking 2, it's an operand, so just push it, 5, it's an operand, so just push it, right? 3 operand, just push it. 6 operand, just push it, right? Now see, I told you, right? In terms of the bracket knowledge, we also learned in the infix expression concept, right? The bracket which is opened the latest will actually be the one which is closed the first, okay? It's also sort of the way that whenever you go deep into operands and you come across the operator, the just two previous operands will be the one it actually acted on, because they would actually be computed first also when you would have done the infix to postfix conversion. So now in this case, what you do is you basically pop 6 and 3 from the stack, okay, and do the addition operation on them, which is 9, and then you push 9 back to the stack, okay. Next, what you have is multiplication, okay. So what you do is you pop the top two elements from the stack, 9 and 5, do the operation on top of them, which will give you 45, and basically put 45 back to the stack. Now you again have a multiplication operator. So what do is you again pop out the top two elements from the stack, perform their multiplication, which will give you 90, and then put 90 back into the stack. Now what you have is 15, so just put 15 over here. Now what you have is a division operation, okay. So when you will do, again what you have to do over here is, in this case, you will basically pop out 90 and 15 from the stack, which will give you 90 by 15, because the division operator is there. In that case, you will basically get 18. Okay. Now, in this case, let's say you could either take it as 5. Okay. Remember, over here, one thing to also notice is you have been given individual digits. Okay. So it will probably not be 15, right? It will mostly be 5 only. Okay. Because if it is 15 sort of in this way, right, you can't really have both, right? Because then it will be 1 and then it will be 5. 15 as something won't be remembered. So what you could do is, just for simplicity over here, not to keep 1 and 5 too differently, because that will hamper the expression, just take it as 5 over here. Okay. So you would have put 5 in the stack, and once you will come across this division operator, you will do 90 by 5, which will basically give you 18. Okay. And then you just add 18 to the stack, and then you have 2, which you will get added over here, and then you will have a minus. So you will take the top two operands, 18, you will simply do 18 minus 2, which is 16, and put the answer back in the stack. And now by the end, you come at the very end of the operation, you will realize that your work is actually done. There is no more characters left in the string, and you only have one element in the stack, which is your final answer as well, which is 60. Okay, so this is how you basically do the evaluation of converting, I would say, or not converting, of evaluating postfix expression. And you can see how easy it is, right? Even if the computer does want to do it internally, it's very quick for them, right? They can just put the operands into the stack. The moment an operator comes, they can just pop out the last two values and then do the computation. Okay, so this is how the evaluation works for postfix expressions. We'll take a look at the code now. This will be evaluate postfix. All right, and over here we would again have, let's say, a function evaluate expression, where we will be passing the input, for example, 3, 4 plus 2 star, something like this. And this function, whatever its output will be, we'll basically be printing it out over here. This will basically eventually return us a single output, which will be integer. Okay, and in the input, we'll be having exp and expression. All right, now first we'll be creating a stack. New stack over here. Then you will be basically going to each and every character of the expression, right? You will do char c is equal to exp dot char at I, right? Now you want to check whether it's a, okay, a digit, okay, because here there won't be character, there won't be any character, right? You will always either have the digits or you will have a operator, okay? So you can just directly use a function also, or use the sky value concept. If you directly want to use the function, it will be character dot is digit function, okay, over here, right? And then you will do stack dot push. If it is actually a digit, what you would want to do is, you don't want to put this to the stack, okay? You would ideally want to put, because it's an integer stack, you would want to put its I would say integer value, right? If you will just directly do it like this, okay, this is not correct, okay, because it's a character over here, and you can see it gives you an error also with that it needs to be a string. So what do you do is you convert it. How do you convert it? You can just again follow the concept of ASCII values to do that. Otherwise, if it's an operator, what you do is you basically take out the operands from the stack dot pop int op1 is equal to stack dot pop again. Okay, this opposite is being happening because of the subtraction operator, right? You have to make sure the right values are being subtracted. So you'll take out the second one first and make it operand 2. Now you could add switch casing, right, based on what the operator was. If let's say the operator is a plus, okay, you could do stack dot push op1 plus op2, okay, and could be a minus, could be a star, could be a division, okay? So it's op1 minus op2, op1 into op2, and op1 by op2, okay? Remember, it's a switch case, so you should always put a break statement as well. Okay, just in case you require. And over here, once you're done with it, what you can do is at the very end, like I said, once you're done with all of this, at the very end of the for loop or after iterating, what you will have is only one element in the stack, which is your final answer. So you'll do stack dot pop, and there you go. You have your final output. Let's see if this works also. Yes, it does. Okay, you can try out as well. This is 3 into 4, 12, right? Over here. Not, in fact, not that also. Let's take an example over here. The same one that we took. So just that we can verify also. 2, 5, 3, 6 plus star, star, 5 by 2 minus. Let me just double check as well if this is what the same expression is. So over here we had in the input 2, 3, 5, 6, and then we had plus star, star, 5 by 2 minus. And let's see, it is giving the answer 16, which is correct, okay, which is the expected output as well. So this is how you do the evaluation of postfix expressions over here. Okay, now similarly, if you have to do the evaluation of prefix expressions, remember, so there's a trick also you can learn. Whenever there's a prefix involved now, the usually what we do is we first do the reverse, I would say the follow the similar idea that we create an operand stack, okay? And then again, if the character is an operand, we push it to the stack. If it's an operator, we pop 2 operands from the stack, right? And then we try to do it. But before all of that, one thing that we always do is, for the given prefix expression, we first always reverse it. Okay, so this is sort of a trick that you can also apply. If it's a prefix expression involved in terms of evaluation or conversion, you usually reverse it first, because then the operators actually shift towards the start, and then you can first put the operands in the stack and the corresponding operator will come later. Okay, so you can try that out as well. That would also work absolutely fine. So I hope this one is clear. Thank you so much for taking a look at this video, and I will meet you in the next one. Thanks. Bye.